Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. So today we're going to be doing something a little different. We are going to be doing another one of the Let's Resin crystal ball molds. They come in a 2-pack with the mushrooms and then the bird. The first one I got, my mushroom one, had a defect in the mold, and Let's Resin sent me out a replacement. So this is the new one. And this one has no flaws in it. So we're going to do this one, but we're going to do it different. As you can see, I have a ball here. So I had saw, I believe it's, I think it's Mary with Resin Me Up. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to learn everybody's name with their channel. But I had saw she had done one of these, and she had done the Northern Lights inside the ball. And I was like, I've been wanting to do a shaker thing, so I'm going to try it. So what I did is I just cut, I didn't take my Dremel and grind it right down. I just shortened it. I took 2 of the, ring things off because this will fit in here. And the bottom of this, I'm going to have colored in green. So this part won't show once it's in, because this ball pretty much takes up this whole space. So I do have 6 ounces of resin mixing right now. And I'm using the Bond Craftor 1:1. This is the 16-ounce kit. This is on sale. And it comes with little cups, your 2 bottles, some gloves, some stir sticks. And this is on sale, I think, through this weekend for $15.99, guys. So I did have the 16-ounce bottle, so I figured I would bring this out, let you know. I will try to remember to put the link in the description below. If I don't, make a comment, message me, whatever, and I will get you the code. I don't know if, I'm sure they must have plenty in stock, so I don't think it will, be out of stock, but I did want to let you know. All right, so I am just going to, yes, I should have gloves on, but I want to do the mica powder first, and I wanted to get this mixed. I'm going to separate it in 2 different cups. So while I'm painting on my mold, this will have time to degas. And if I feel like there's still any little bubbles in there, we will run it through the debubbler. But usually if you let this sit for 5 minutes, all the bubbles will be out. So the reason I'm just putting it in 2 cups is because I don't want it to start to cure too quickly. So I'm just going to wipe my paddles down. And this does already have alcohol on it. And then I'll just give it a little bit of a spritz on both sides, get all the paddles, give it another wipe, and then that's good to go. All right, so let's get this separated, and then we will, like I said, I don't know how much that's going to take, so we're just going to, all right. So that's about half and half. So I'm just going to push this out of the way. And if I do have extra, I'm going to probably dump it in this. I'm just trying to get all the little bits that didn't come off the last time so I can do another one. So what I'm going to do with this I'm going to do the mushroom caps in the red Let's Resin Chrome powder, mica powder. And I'm going to do the stems and probably underneath in this gold chrome mica powder. I don't think I've used the chrome one, like brushing it on. And then I'm going to use the chrome green for the leaves and this whole bottom rim. Because I think that way there, it's just going to look like, you know, it's like a grassy area. I don't know. I don't know if I should use a lighter green. I mean, we can always lighten the leaves up after if I don't like it. But that's my thought process. So I am going to flip this inside out to get the mushrooms because it's going to make it so much easier. And I am going to use my 2 little round brushes. These ones go really good in the little tiny areas. And the chrome powder doesn't fly away as much as like the regular. Hang on, I gotta just snip this piece of skin. Like I said, my hands had broke out the other day. This was a whole bunch of bubbles, and it just turned into one massive, and now I have this big old, yeah, I don't know why. And then what we're going to do in the water is I'm going to use this orchid color. It's a pink purple, and we're going to mix it with glycerin and water. So we'll get to that in a little bit. That's going to be for that. And let's go ahead and get these starting. I'm almost thinking this time I'm going to start with the gold because I want to get the bottoms of my mushrooms. See how you can see there's like little like ridges in here? I want that to be kind of like the gold in all of them, and then the stem. So I figure we'll start with the lighter color and work our way to the darker one after. And hopefully that works. All right, so I'm going to start with this little one right here. And we'll see if it's too fly away. I might add some alcohol, but I'm thinking, I think I'll be all set. Because these chrome powders do go on really, really nice. And this one here doesn't have a big lip underneath. And then I'm going to end up pouring this in clear. That one's done. I'm going to get these, I guess, the bottom ones first. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. So let me know in the comments, when I'm doing something like this, would you like me to just do like 1 or 2 and then do the rest on a time lapse, or do you like watching the whole process? It doesn't matter to me. You know, you guys are the ones that are watching the replay, so it doesn't, you know, either way, it doesn't matter to me. But I know some of you don't like long videos. I know some do. And when you're painting something like this, it can make for a little bit longer video. So put it in the comments if you would rather see me do like one or two and then just time lapse the rest. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it so that you guys, you know, get what you want out of my videos. So like that one I will have to clean up, but I can do that with a Q-tip or a little micro brush after, so. But the lighter colors are easier to, you know, come off, so I figured let's start with the light and then work our way to the dark. We'll work our way to the dark side. So my girlfriend came over and visited yesterday. I hadn't seen her in a long time. So we had a nice visit. This afternoon, I'm hoping to get into the pool. We finally having a little bit more sun today, so we will see. Because the last time I did this, I didn't do the underneath in a different color. I did them all in the red. So I figured we'll try doing the underneath and seeing if we get a little bit more dimension in our little piece here. But see how this doesn't spread as much as the regular mic is? I just love these chrome micas. You know, you just want to make sure that you do burnish them good. So what is everybody's plans for the 4th? I believe this one will be coming out on the 4th of July. So, all right, let's get these big ones done. I'm gonna try using this brush, but I've got to clean it first because it does have some green in it, or some blue. So by kind of cleaning it off with alcohol, it'll dry off your brush much quicker. All right, so I'm just trying to hold the you know, that piece up a little bit so I can kind of see, and I got too much this time. Goodness. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll get this done on a time lapse because this is going to take me a bit, guys. And I'll get it cleaned up and then we'll come back and we'll do our ball. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so we got that all done. I think I've got it cleaned up pretty good. There's a little bit in the bottom. I'll run a cloth in there when we get ready to pour, but I want to get to this ball. So I'm going to do a 50-50 mix. So this is just vegetable glycerin I got off Amazon. Yeah, and don't get alcohol in a blister like that. Just saying, it really hurt. All right, so let me... All right, so I'm not going to fill it completely up because I do want to shake this until it gets clear again. All right, so that is clear. Let's take this little color here, and I'm gonna put a good scoop. We're gonna shake that again. I'll see how it looks. But see how you can see that blue like swirling around in there? All right. I am going to put just a smidge more, and then we're going to fill it with water. And then we're going to, I have some plastic pieces that I cut one, and I have another one in case I needed more, but, all right, let's, so I'm just going to fill that as close to the top as I can get. Just like that. Now I'm hoping all these little bubbles come out. Okay. So I've got my my little piece of plastic, and I'm just going to clean that off. And that's going to go on the top there. So I've got to get my UV resin. I am going to use I'm going to put the first layer with this. This is just the UV bonder. It comes with this pen because this cures quicker than the regular UV. So hopefully those bubbles will pop from me stirring it around like a fool. It'll probably just make one big bubble, and that's fine. So I'm just gonna go on this lip. Like that. And where's my piece? And we're gonna stick that, oh, come on. All right, we're gonna go to, I was pushing a little too hard because I'm trying to hurry because I know now my resin is sitting there. Getting warm. And yep, that's gonna fit. Let me get a clean paper towel here. All right, let me get another paper. I gotta wipe my hands and put a glove on because I'm getting all Alright, got my gloves out. Let me get them on. God, I'm gonna have to turn my AC on down here. I am sweating. All right, let's try this again. Let that meet, and now we're gonna cure. All right, now I'm gonna cover the top with the UV. And that way there, it just hardens that top layer. And then I'll go around the sides, move this stuff out of my way. So we're gonna give that a couple minute cure. So while that's doing that, I am going to just lightly try to clean the globe part without messing too much up in there. And we're probably going to get some floating from the color. I did try to blow as much of it off as I could, but you know, it is what it is. It's not the perfect clean job. I should have waited to pour my resin, and I didn't, so now I'm like, yeah, that's getting really hot. Crap. Now I just want to go around that outside. To make sure that it's cured underneath here. And this part isn't going to show because it's going to be in the bottom. Oh my gosh, I just had my pokey stick. Where did I put it? Let me just grab something else here. I want to make sure that that is all the way underneath this lip. I'm just kind of rolling that underneath there. Because the last time I did one of these, I thought I had it sealed good, and then it wasn't. I was kind of able to save it some, but, all right. I'm just gonna do one more little bit. So I'm just kind of pulling that around. And then we'll get it cured. And that's a thin layer, so it's not gonna take long. So, okay. Move my tape out of my way here. So let's get some resin poured in. All right. Yeah, that is getting thick. Where's my alcohol? Well, I'm gonna be able to worry about those two bubbles because I've got to get this in. Oh, I never even thought of that. Yeah, that might not have been a good idea with the colors. All right, let me just slowly get this filled. Oh, that's going to be too much. All right, let me just get whatever I can into this because it's thick. So yeah, don't do like me, guys. Get all your stuff done and then pour your resin. I should have known better. As I was painting it, I was like, oh, crap. All right. Good enough. So I'm just gonna because this is all the bubble one from before anyways. So I'm just trying to get it covered to a certain point in there. All right. Just take that. All right. See how that's already setting, guys? Yeah, I screwed up bad. All right, I guess we're just gonna leave it. Yeah, this is probably gonna be a redo. Alrighty, guys, I will be back on demold, hopefully. All right, guys, let's see how much of a disaster this is. It does have a bubble on the back. I mean, this is fine, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see if I've got to redo this. There's a bubble in there, and there's one here, and there was one there. And when I tried to pop it, it was so thick that it wasn't allowing me to pop it. So I just walked away and left it. So the edges are very sharp because I way over poured, but it was too thick to even get any out. So I just left it. So we will see what a disaster this is. I'm assuming it's probably pretty bad, but, well, there's not as many bubbles that I thought would be on here. So that, it's kind of cool. There's a little something in there. All right, it's not as bad as I was thinking it was gonna be. I am just gonna trim some of this bottom here, because I mean it's definitely way over. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to redo this whole thing, but I don't know. It's not as bad as I was expecting it to be, considering how hot my resin was when I poured it. So yeah, definitely, you know, get all your stuff done and then mix your resin, guys. I don't even know what I was thinking. I guess I wasn't thinking. That's the problem. So I figured if I can get the bulk of this off, you know, then I can always, you know, go back through and sand it or whatever, but I've got to get the bulk of this stuff off while it is still somewhat soft. So it's not that bad. I got a little bit of a drip there, a little bit there, and a little bit there, but it kind of, it almost, you know, looks like it was raining and there's like a drop in there. So I'm okay with it. Let me grab my markers here. Let's see. I think this is the red that I like. No, that's more the pink. I mean, I like those reds. This one here and this one, kind of, the powder wasn't really good on there, but just move that out of the way. And let's just give these a little bit of a coating. See if we can kind of save this piece to a point. So they do have like little polka dots on the tops of the mushrooms. That, you know, we could put like white dots on, or orange, or whatever color you really want. I'm kind of liking that red. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to go around the edges with this, and then I'll switch over and I'll do the big tip to get the bulk of it. And then I'll just do them all, I guess. And that way they will match. So I think I'm gonna, let me switch over to the bigger end just to see if it's gonna make it easier. Yeah, I think that's definitely gonna make a difference. And these are the oil markers. All right, so I'm gonna do the little one. I will just go I'm just gonna go around the close edge so I don't have a lot of cleanup. Just get that little bit colored in. So we do have one little bubble in this mushroom that I'm working on. So I definitely didn't do a great job putting the the chrome marker on. My cleanup wasn't too bad though. So I'm just going to get up next to the globe part, and then I'll switch over to the big tip, and then we'll finish these up, and I should be able to put some white on them. All right, so let's put this tip on. Yeah, and I think this red stands out a little bit better too. I mean, I seriously thought, guys, that I was gonna be pulling this out and starting over. But it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. When I saw how thick that resin was, I was like, oh no. And then I'll just do some of the green on the leaves just to change the tone of the green. The bottom looks fairly decent. And the stems look, you know, they're okay. So, yeah, we'll save this little bugger. All right, so we got all our little mushroom caps. So let me grab a green. And I don't really like this green, but it is the only one that I have that is oil. Now I have a light green, but I don't know if I'd like that one either. Let me just try the other one. I can always pull out my acrylic markers, I guess. Because I think this is going to be a little too light. Well, I don't know. I kind of like this one a little bit better. Well, I guess we can do some of the leaves in the light green and some in the dark green, I guess. And so those ones I'm going to have the darker. These ones I'll have the lighter. Oh, there's a little hole right there. So at some point I will be redoing this one again. And I think what I will do is I'm just going to pour it clear, and then we will paint it after. Oh, you know what? I know why I'm not liking the colors, because I wanted to use my metallics. Oh, well. Maybe we can just kind of go over some. All right, I've only got a couple more. So I'm trying to stick to like this shape leaf be one color, and then the others, the other one's more like a fern, like that one and those. So I wanted to have those a different green. And I will have a little cleanup to do. I'm not doing the greatest of jobs. But I wanted to at least, you know, get this somewhat done so you guys could see if it was a total disaster or not. Okay. And just gonna do these really quick. All right, and we'll go back to this and we'll do those little funky do ones here. one more. So yeah, I think you'd be better off just coloring it after. Just do have a few little leaves down in here. And then I'll just have a little bit of cleanup. Not much. But I just figured this way here, the stems might show up a little bit better. All right. And let me grab the white. And we're just gonna just do there's like little tiny dots on the top, so I'm just filling them in with the white. Whoa. And you have to kind of look at it like at an angle to really like see the little dots. So there are a couple spots that I made the dot, that there wasn't a little dot there, but I thought it needed one. There we go. I think we were actually able to save this. Of course, the one thing I didn't bring down that I wanted to is I wanted to bring one of my little fairies and put her on the top of this to see how she would look. So that is, you know, and you can see like the little sparkles of the purple blue or whatever that's giving like that Northern Lights look. So I think next time what I would do is put the powder in the cup when I stir it, let it sit, and then pour it in. So, I mean, you can see I definitely would need a second coat, but, and then a little bit of cleanup around some of these pieces, but not too bad. You know, there's not a ton of cleanup, just a few little spots, that's all. Yeah. So yeah, that's our little project for tonight. I will get some up-close pictures. And yeah. Well, at least it was not as bad as I was expecting, guys. Alrighty, guys. I will see you on the next video. Bye.